Hi, Jewish Mom. So I want to tell you about this amazing book that I've been reading called House of Diamonds, Inspiration for Today's Jewish Woman by Faye Klein, put out by Feldheim. I have to tell you, this past Shabbat, I was in a really bad mood, and I sat down and I read this book. I read half of this book, and it really, really, really cheered me up. It made me feel very, very, very inspired about being a Jewish mom. This is really, I think all Jewish mom readers should be running out to get this book, because it really is like a real, almost every page is like a real Jewish mom inspirational message. So I want to tell you about one thing in particular that I read, which I've been trying to apply in I know, 14 hours since I read it. I think it's an amazing idea. Okay, so she writes a chapter about kavanah. Kavanah is about having the proper focus when we're doing things. So this is a story that so she starts with a story about a man named Rabbi Shalom Shwadron, who was from Shari Chesed in Jerusalem. He was the legendary Maggid of Jerusalem, a big storyteller, great storyteller. So I'm going to be reading for 2 pages, okay? Rav Shwadron related an incident that happened when one of his children was sick. In order to prevent contagion, this is a long time ago, maybe 100 years ago or more, he took the other children to his mother's house. On the way, he met Rabbi Isaac Sher, who greeted him and asked him where he was going. Rav Shwadron explained the situation. Rav Sher said, "What then?" But when Rav Shwadron didn't understand the question, Rav Sher then asked, "Why and what for?" Rav Shwadron couldn't figure out what Rav Sher was asking him, so he repeated what he had said. He said, Rav Shwadron explained, again, "My child is sick, so I'm taking the other children to my mother." Now Rav Sher explained, in other words, the big animal is leading the small animal, meaning that, animals do this also. Animals also take care of their children. Basically, what's the difference in what you're doing by taking the other children so they won't get sick and infected? What's the difference between you and an animal? So he says, what's the difference? So Rabbi Sher says, you are on the way to do chesed to a Jewish child who also happens to be your own flesh and blood. Okay, got it? So what's the difference? You're not just doing what an animal will do. Through your kavanah, through his focus, he's making it into a mitzvah, right? You're on your way to do chesed, to do an act of kindness to a Jewish child who also happens to be your child. Rav Shwadron builds on this idea and continues. I have taken Rav Sher's words to the point where I say, Hineni muchan umazuman lasot chesed. So probably most of you know, before we perform a positive commandment, for example, before we would drink every glass of wine at the Seder table, so then many people say, Hineni muchan umazuman. I am ready, I am prepared and ready to perform the positive mitzvah of drinking the 3rd glass of wine, okay? But what does Rabbi Shwadron say? In his home, when he would be doing nice things for his children, he would say, I am ready and prepared to do an act of kindness. Hinanei muchan u'mezuman lasot chesed. I am prepared and ready to do the mitzvah of chesed in my behavior towards my wife and children and in everything I do. All my actions have been tailored to this new attitude. Now listen to this. A wise man can change dust into gold. Okay, everything that we do in our lives as mothers, we can transform it through our kavanah, really seeing it as a mitzvah. And it is a mitzvah. Everything that we're doing for our children is an act of chesed, an act of kindness, right? So we're changing a dust into gold through our focus, through our kavanah. Everything that goes on at home can fall into this category. People think they are only raising their children, but every step in the home that is accompanied by a good intention is a gold mine. Okay, I'm going to read it again. This is a quote from Rabbi Shwadron. Every step in the home that is accompanied by a good intention is a gold mine. Rav Elia Lopian and Rav Shwadron were once walking together and noticed a Jewish worker repairing the street. Rav Elia said, Look at that Jew who is so involved in mitzvot, specifically the mitzvah of Yishuv Haaretz, of settlement of the land of Israel. But if he doesn't have the kavanah, the focus to do the mitzvah, and is only thinking about earning a living, he's lost the full value of the mitzvah. Got it? So this person, he's like a municipal worker, whatever it was at the time, who was repairing the street. If he had in his mind, this is mitzvah, I'm fulfilling the mitzvah of Yishuv Haaretz. Wow, what a mitzvah! But if he's just thinking, okay, today I'm going to make 50 shekels for 50 liras back then for fixing the street, well, he lost it. He lost the mitzvah. It's basically meaningless. A pharmacist once asked the Chafetz Chaim, how can I serve Hashem? The Chafetz Chaim answered, have kavanah, that you are helping people to get well, and you will maximize the mitzvah, right? So basically, the pharmacist is already doing something really good. He's doing a mitzvah. He's helping people get well, helping sick people get well. But what does he need? The Chafetz Chaim says, you need your kavanah. You need the kavanah that you are helping people get well. And that's what will help you to maximize the mitzvah. Kavanah maximizes the spiritual quality of a physical action. When you focus on spirituality, you find meaning behind every action. And as the Midrash Zohar says, you will be zoche to siyata dishmaya. You will merit divine assistance. Okay, so this is the last section I want to read to you. Kavanah in your home. This awareness of the power of kavanah is extremely relevant when running a Jewish home. It is easy to get caught up in ordinary tasks and to lose sight of the value of your avoda, of your work in the house. Every step that is committed with kavanah, with focus, is a treasure. For example, raising children to have yirat shamayim, raising children to believe in Hashem, is considered the mitzvah of chinuch banim, chesed, and Torah. Right? It's part of the mitzvah of educating children, performing acts of loving kindness, and learning Torah, teaching Torah. Rabbi Ari Levin would tell his daughters that when they change their babies' diapers, they should say, "Hareini muchan mezuman lakayem mitzvat gidul yeladim." Right? I am ready and prepared to fulfill the mitzvah of raising children. So another Rebbetzin Malka Gerwitz of blessed memory used to sweep her kitchen floor and say out loud, I am sweeping the floor of my base midrash. Okay, I actually don't understand why she said I'm sweeping the floor of my base midrash, but I did this. I also was cleaning up yesterday after Shabbat, and I said to myself, I am cleaning my Beit Mikdash Ma'at, my temple in miniature, which is like the home is referred to as Beit Mikdash Ma'at, as a temple in miniature. So I thought this was like a powerful idea. If anyone understands why she refers to her kitchen as her Beit Midrash, I would leave me a comment because I didn't exactly understand that. When I was a young mother, this is the author Faye Klein speaking. We're almost done, okay? When I was a young mother, my sister once came to visit me. After spending the day with me, she commented, do you know, Faye, that you swept the floor 6 times today? I had to laugh. But when thinking about it, I realized that every time I swept, I was performing another mitzvah of chesed by keeping the kitchen clean and hygienic for all the members of the household. The Rambam says it's better to give 1,000 poor people 1 gold coin. But I'm going to skip that. Okay. Okay, this is the final thing I'll read to you. The power of kavanah, of focus, is explained by Malki Feig in her book Mirrors and Windows, published several years ago. She discusses cameras. A person can press the button over and over, but if there's no film in the camera, there will be no photo. Today we would say that without a memory card, there is no picture. Kavanah is the memory card that creates the final image of our actions for eternity. Right? When you do with kavanah, it's like you have the memory card to catch the mitzvah, to catch the good deed that you're doing, to make it permanent. One of Rav Avigdor Miller's tapes is titled "Posing for Eternity." He posits that the actions and kavanot we have today will create the lasting images of our olam haba. Right? And that's what kavanah does. It makes these images for eternity. Okay? So, wonderful book. Highly recommend it. Go out and buy it. I really think it's amazing. I think everyone should be reading it. So in conclusion, so many things that we're doing as mothers, it can really seem so stum. It can really seem like so much of what we're doing, like we can just be kind of going through mindlessly, taking the kids to gan, bringing them home, feeding them, taking care of them, breaking up their fights, feeding them again, putting them again. Okay, then wake up again the next morning, do the same thing. But with our focus, like if we keep it in focus, like what am I doing? What mitzvah am I doing here? Like, am I performing the mitzvah of chesed? Am I performing the mitzvah of ahavta l'recha kamocha, love your neighbor as you love yourself? Am I performing the mitzvah of cleaning my Beit Mikdash me'at? Am I performing the mitzvah? I guess we all, in everything we're doing, of gidul yeladim, of raising children. And I encourage you to try to say these words. Harini muchan u'mezuman l'kayim mitzvat by being kind to other people, kind to our children, or it can just be even just something that you say in your words. I am now doing something important. I am now doing an act of kindness for my child. I am now preserving my child's health by taking them to the doctor, by improving their health by taking them to the doctor. But just like having the kavanah of what we're doing, it takes a good deed and makes it into a real mitzvah. Okay, and means that also it says here that when we have the proper kavanah, it means that we'll merit divine assistance in all the good things that we're doing. Okay, I want to bless all of you Jewish moms with an amazing week. Kol tov.